All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Maryland's Cafe Society here at 1340 WJOL, WJOL.com, and Maryland's Cafe Society.com. All right, one of my most favorite groups, bands of all time is Earth, Wind, and Fire. Vintage Earth, Wind, and Fire with Happy Feelings. Hey, I heard that they are going to be back in the Chicagoland area this summer, so, we got to check them out, all right? Earth, Wind, and Fire performance. It's always fantastic. I think 3 of the original members, like founding members, are still intact with that band, so it should be good. All right. So speaking of happy feelings, did you hear about President Obama? I know you guys did, with everything that has happened, but he had an opportunity to meet the group of individuals, the commandos, who pulled off this raid that ended with the death of Osama bin Laden. And of course, he said that it was one of the most successful intelligence and military operations in America's history, and said he had to come to extend his personal thanks to them. All right, so he addressed roughly 2,000 troops after meeting privately with the full assault team, Army helicopter pilots, and Navy SEAL commandos who executed the dangerous raid on bin Laden's compound and killed the al-Qaeda leader in Pakistan. This happened early Monday in Pakistani time, but it was Sunday night. Our time, right? Yeah, I know. I was watching The Apprentice when the interrupting news came in. But nevertheless, they're keeping the identities of these commandos and Army helicopter pilots secret because, it's just on a need-to-know basis. So, anyway, it's finally over in that respect. However, have you been hearing what's been coming out on the internet and I'm assuming in the media out in Cairo? They're saying that al-Qaeda members are avenging or vowing revenge to the USA, chanting things like USA, you will pay. And just roughly 100 participants participated in some kind of protest right outside the United States Embassy in London on yesterday. And so, we need to pay attention, keep our eyes and ears open. They said a whole lot of other things that I really don't want to repeat, but it's done with bin Laden. All right, and then, of course, our president was in New York City. Yep, President Barack Obama paid solemn tribute to the police officers, firefighters, and relatives of victims of the 9/11 attacks by placing a wreath Thursday at the site of the World Trade Center. And just a nice gesture there. But they're saying that when these commandos went into the compounds of bin Laden, they ran across some very interesting documents and information on computers and flash drives and things of that nature that suggest that our train rail systems were a possible target for a second attack here in the United States, which would have happened had we not found all of this information on the anniversary of 9/11. So, good job for those guys. We probably saved ourselves a lot of grief in that respect. All right, and then switching gears to another big news story that's really been kind of hot for the past few weeks, and that is the weather. Here in the United States. Now, have you heard that in this particular region, in the Midwest, particularly Chicagoland, meteorologists are saying that the risk of severe weather is not yet over. Yeah, well, it's springtime, and really this is tornado season, and it gets, progressively worse as we get into summer. But there's really nothing that we can do about it. So they say, other than just stay on alert and be prepared, And some of the things that we can do to kind of stay safe, we talked about it last week or a week before, and I'll just keep kind of driving this home because a lot of, I've seen it. People, you can just see it in the sky, and people will just blow it off as, oh, it's just a storm. But you know how fast a severe thunderstorm can turn and become our tornado watch or a warning. So you really need to just be mindful of that. And for your homes and possibly even your vehicles, they're suggesting that you buy a radio with the same weather technology. That's SAME. It stands for something. What, I don't know. But it's something that we all need. And that would allow for regionalized weather bulletins in your area. And often you get those bulletins like hours before the storms hit, okay? So that's something that I'm going to try to find and invest in too. And then also, people are advised to make sure that you have a plan in place, whether you're at work or home, all of those places that you tend to frequent during this severe weather season. Always in your mind have some kind of plan, or actually for your home and work there should be something in writing, some kind of action plan. But, if you're out shopping and you're in different shopping areas, can you just make sure that you pay attention to your entrances and exits and hiding places and all of that, because as we said and as we've witnessed, and I know in my lifetime, weather can change just like that with snap of a finger. Okay, and then last thing, and I talked about this last week or week before when those southern states were hit, in Alabama and so forth. If you don't have a basement, and I almost, I kind of cringe at the thought of it, they're still saying you need to go to the center of your room, of your home, preferably a room that has plumbing, like a bathroom or something, because they're saying that those fixtures with piping that runs deep into the ground can, will kind of withstand the forces of a tornado. And so if you can do that, get in a tub and cover yourself with a mattress of some sort, that's your best bet. And, we've seen this in Alabama, how those homes, they did not have basements, and those people did everything they were supposed to do going into the center of their homes and into the bathrooms, and it just didn't help because of the magnitude of the tornado. But, it's better safe than sorry, and so that's something that you can do. All right. So I really wanted to make you guys aware of that because it really is very, very, very serious. Okay, and so this is Mother's Day weekend, and I'll be darned if I didn't go online. Was it Thursday night, I believe? Thursday night, and someone sent me an email, and I'll share with you what was in that email when we come back after this quick break. Stay where you are. In case you don't know it, it's 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk sports station. We're a product of Next Media. We stream live via the internet at WJOL.com, and you can also find us at Maryland'sCafeSociety.com.